Tripfilms. So with the name Kelly, you'd be right in assuming that I'm a wee bit Irish. And every year around this time, my Irish blood gets the better of me and I'm ready to do as any good Irish would do. Dance a jig, drink a pint, and celebrate the Emerald Isle. So in honor of St. Patrick's Day, we are bringing you the best of Tripfilms' Kiss Me I'm Irish edition. So let's start off where it all began, Ireland. Ireland is the home of the holiday's patron saint, and it's no surprise it's called the Emerald Isle. It's darn green. With all that green scenery, travel content warns that your neck muscles better be in good shape. Here he interviews Zoe Salmon as she gushes about the emerald countryside.
Ireland all year round is just a beautiful place, you know, whether it's covered in snow or rain. Even in the rain it just looks luscious and green, and that's what everybody, you know, when they think about the Emerald Isle, they think about the greenness and how luscious it is.
Luscious indeed. You can't talk about Ireland without mentioning the country's most famous drink. Yes, I'm talking about good old Guinness. Cosette takes on a formidable task. Many before her have tried, but no one can quite agree. Where is the best pint of Guinness? She makes a valiant effort searching Dublin's many pubs for the best pint of black stuff. Take a look.
Everybody has their different places of where they find their best pint of Guinness.
The centre of Dublin, I would recommend a pub called Neary's. A lot of the writers and artists would hang around there, and it always has a great sense of excitement about it.
There's lots of different theories, I think, but they say the closer you are to the Guinness factory there, the better. So maybe Ryan's across the road, it's just down the river there.
Personally, mine is in Finnegan's Pub in Dublin.
If you are lucky enough to be in town, Colm Hanratty tells us about the top 10 things to do in Ireland's capital city of Dublin. One of the city's most popular attractions is obviously the tour of the famous Guinness brewery. Colm shows us some of the highlights of the tour as well as the history of this Irish brew.
And Dublin has the factory where one of its most famous exports, Guinness, is brewed. At this world-class attraction you can discover how the famous drink is made and see many of its most famous adverts. You even get to pull your own pint.
That must be the freshest pint. If the leprechaun, or the Guinness, gets the better of you, feel free to let loose and dance a jig, especially if you are in Dublin. Day or night, you can always find a pub playing Sazoon, traditional Irish music. It's come back into style. Heck, even the kids are doing it. Tripfilms member Joshua Last certainly got into the spirit. Watch as he sings and jigs his way all throughout the Emerald Isle.
I went to Amsterdam and saw the chicken and the snowman cross the river Coke over a bridge, and then we did a jig.
Sadly, not all of us can make it back to the motherland for St. Patrick's Day, but don't despair, Irish communities everywhere have their own celebrations. In St. Paul, Minnesota, our hilarious, fast-talking duo, A-Palooza, battle it out describing the highlights of the annual Irish Fair on Harriet's Island. Dancing, potatoes, fighting, and a whole lot of guys in kilts. Doesn't get much more Irish than that, huh?
And they have a lot of free events that
lots of guys in kilts.
George is naming off excitedly now.
There was fighting.
Of course there was fighting. It was Irish Fair.
There was potatoes.
Of course there was potatoes.
The community in Franklin, Tennessee also celebrate their Irish roots with a St. Paddy's street party called Fail of Franklin. Cyberhoss interviews the local Frankliners who take the holiday very seriously. Trust me, if you go, you better wear green.
An annual Irish Celtic festival that we do here, always the week before St. Paddy's Day, and it's beer, it's Irish dance, music, it's a lot of fun, it's just a lot of community, people getting together to have fun and celebrate our Irish heritage here in Middle Tennessee.
If you don't wear green, you'll get pinched.
No Irish festivals in your town? Well, go to full screen, turn up the volume, and watch some of these highlights of the street festival in Dublin. You can dance, it's okay, we're not watching. You know the drill. Email me at kelly@tripfilms.com for any recommendations for next week's Best Of. Oh, well, as the Irish say, sláinte.